All right, everybody, welcome to With All Due Respect, your podcast show for the GFW. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And as always, we have my great guest with me, Mr. Ebar. Ebar, how you doing on a Saturday afternoon?
Man, I'm doing great. Had a great day today at work. Got off early. Can't complain.
That's right. And a few minutes ago, we even shared some time. We did a little watch party. It was just he and I. We couldn't do one last night. But you know what? Overall, we were pretty pleased with the show. We sat there and we watched the whole thing together. I think we're already up to 30 views. So thanks for everybody who's watching this. Help us just promote it, share it, get it out there, get people to watch it. People are buzzing about it. I think people are enjoying the way that we do our shows. And of course, there are some things that we can talk about that we can clean up and do a little bit better. But what are kind of some of your biggest takeaways from the show?
Oh man, so my biggest takeaways, these guys are having great matches. I know we got a lot of new guys that are just starting with this and it's kind of like their first league they're in and everything. But man, they're picking up really fast. Um, Even with the new rules we got in place, everybody had great matches. I loved all the matches. Um, few hits and misses, that we had, but nothing that we can't clean up and make better.
Yeah, I agree. I think we got to introduce to a couple of new characters in this show. We got to hear a little bit more from CJ and just kind of who he is and what he's all about. There's some neat things with that character. He had a massive win. If you haven't seen the show, you need to go watch the show. A really big win for him. I think there's definitely some stuff that could be better with his character. And, like all of our characters, like Cactus has changed the most. I mean, Cactus started out with like a guy that wore shorts and boots and was like, a thug type character that was like this weird mixture, almost like a John Cena type guy with this like neat entrance, but he wore like chains and stuff with a big beard, and now, he's developed into what he is now. So, look, there's plenty of time to figure this thing out and to play with your character. But I think CJ is one of those characters, right? They can use some time to develop and could use some time put into him to get the right mixture of entrance and character and the way he talks, the way he dresses, the way he acts. I think he just needs some more time.
Yeah, he definitely does. I think he's definitely on the right track with them. Uh, in the end, it is his character. He's gonna go with what he likes the most. Um, but I like his overall look. Looks awesome. Um, like we talked earlier, I feel as either his music's too fast for his entrance or his
Yeah.
entrance is too slow for his music. And that's really the only thing I kind of have that because he's got this real upbeat rock music going, but he's coming out real slow and kind of sluggish moving, and it just to me it just doesn't really fit. But I mean, same thing with me. Aiden, he started out in blue jeans and
Yeah.
a hoodie with the sleeves cut off and everything with this real big rock music, and now, I mean, you kind of look at him, and I've got him now where he's not in his tights. He's in you know, black dress pants, nice black shirt. He's got his iPhone watch on and everything. So as your character develops, you kind of just change with how you want him to look with that development.
Yeah, I think it's important. And speaking of development, we got introduced to a new guy called Dirk. Now, on the last show, we talked about this big announcement that we were going to reveal and these big changes that were coming. Well, those things quickly went away right after that podcast, which kind of sucked because I was super excited about that. But even though those changes have went away and we were going to do a merger and that merger is no longer going to happen, um, the guy who runs that league is still going to play here, and they just do something really, as we thought we could mix them, but they really do something different than us. They don't create a YouTube show. They don't really do role plays. They just do kind of almost like a call ran universe on PlayStation, and so they do some YouTube shows from that, but really different than what we're doing. But Dirk decided to bring his guy over, and he decided to bring his guy over, and I think he's going to be bringing some other guys. And as we progress here, there may be other people from his league that come and join us, since we do something really completely different. And that part I'm excited about. And we got to introduce to Dirk. We got introduced to his character, the guy has a great look. Like his boots are just unbelievably cool, and I like the t-shirt and the dreads. Um, the interest music's got to kind of grow on me because you see this guy that you're expecting to be like a high flyer, right? Like a cruiserweight, which is what he is. Like he's supposed to come out with all this energy, all this pop and sizzle. And he's got these bright popping colors, but yet he comes out a little slow and methodical and dark. And so I'm not quite making the connection yet, but you know what? Dirk invests a ton of time into all his guys, or Nee, I should say, into all of his guys. And so I know he'll find exactly what it is that he's looking for, and I guess that's the other thing. We got to hear from him a little bit, right? We got to hear how his player talks and interacts with other players, and it's not dark and mysterious. Like he's very in your face. He's very bold. He's very, hillish and arrogant, and yet his entrance is like this real dark, creepy, silent type. So I'm not making the connection, but I love the character and I love what he's going to add here. He had a match with you, with Tex, with your secondary character. So a lot of good stuff came from him. He did some role plays with Luna. Just a lot of really good stuff. I'm excited about adding him to the program.
Yeah, I definitely am too. Like you said, he's a cruiserweight. I think he's the only cruiserweight we have right now. Um, Kind of took me a second to get adjusted to that with my guy being a heavyweight and everything, but all in all, it was a great match. I had fun. I enjoy throwing ideas off of him and talking to him personally. Um, we kind of went a little at it the other day on our group chat, and we just kind of free ranged it there for a second, and we enjoyed it. He likes it and everything. It's fun. Um, love his character's look and everything, like you said. I mean, he really has invested a lot of time in everything he's done with that guy, and his look just looks totally different from anything we have altogether.
Yeah, and he's a good dude. He and I've talked a lot, and so I really hope that he enjoys it here and that he can stay with us a long time. I think that he could just be one of those foundational members, like Tavon has become, like Dawson has become. So, and look, guys are watching us, man. I'm telling you, I get at least 10 messages a week on PSN. People love our belts that we're going to be unveiling here soon. People love our show. And the problem is, I'd say 85, 95% of them don't want to do any work, right? They don't want to get Discord. They don't want to, they just want to be on PlayStation and play matches. And so that's why most of them don't work out. But some people are going to work out, and some people are starting to send in applications, and that's kind of the first step. And there's a guy in here named Swag right now who's starting to fill out the steps. And so I think over the next couple of weeks we will add more and more characters, and that's just going to make things more and more fun. Um, Thinking just kind of through the show, my last kind of thoughts on the show itself are one of my bigger takeaways is Aiden gets his first win over Cactus in a very long time. Now, this whole Cactus Captain Dustin Aiden thing is starting to kind of boil over. You've seen it kind of get out of hand this past week as Dustin White and Cactus went at it. Dustin messes with him at the watering hole, which sets him behind the 8 ball. He loses to Aiden. Then Cactus jumps him in the back. And then after Captain's match, Cactus has been removed from the place. So Cactus isn't even there to save his guy. But Aiden's there and he beats up Captain. And so, like, there's just a lot of moving pieces. And that's one of my bigger takeaways is where's all that going to go and how's that going to play out? I mean, we're building up to the next pay-per-view as Cactus and Dustin are going to face off for the belt, and where's they going to leave the rest of these guys? And so lots of really good matches. I made a boo boo. Again, we have to be about the details. The longer we begin to produce more shows and get a bigger following and more people and more eyes on it, we have to be better and better. And so Dustin and I had a match where it kind of glitched out on us, and we had to redo it like right immediately. And I forgot about that, and so when I did the video, I accidentally left the first match that shouldn't have been on there. So look, that's on me. We all make mistakes, but there are some other little things that we can all clean up. Just about your character and about what you do. If you notice in the Cactus and Aiden Steel match, because Dustin jumped Cactus actually starts down half a bar of health. And so, like, those, like, little details really add to the flavor of the show, and really add to showing that we're all about the details and we really put in the time and effort. Dustin White came out with bandages, right? So, because he got jumped by Cactus in the back. So, all of those little things really add up, and the more effort and energy you guys put into that, the better it comes. And you guys are doing a good job. It's become less and less work for me, but more work can be done, especially on the entrances and on the matches when you guys present them. One of them is the CJ a Jack match. There was something that you pointed out while we were watching that is something that they can clean up.
Yeah, I noticed a few things. Kind of our entrances. A few of us still haven't turned off our Titantron, so we're still having the big WWE logo in the background as we're walking up, and then another thing is we've got to watch our OMG moves. Those are still considered a finishing move by the rules. So you have to wait until you have that opponent in one piece red and then another color of anything else. It's just the little details. Mistakes happen. It's not a big deal. It's just something to kind of watch out for now. But I mean, the devil's in the details. We've got to watch the little things we do and to make our matches look better. If you're gonna get jumped beforehand, let your guy attack you a little bit before the match and then get back in your cars and start over, so that it looks like you've been actually attacked. It's if it's not what you want to try, then don't try it. But I feel I want to do it that way. If I get attacked, then I would like to make it look as real as possible.
And it's just like the cutscenes that you're seeing on the screen right now. Like, those are a little bit of a work, but it adds so much to the show. Adding those before match cutscenes, those after match cutscenes. Dustin and I coming up with the gimmick of let's have a match where we fight backstage, and it shows that we both did it in our casual attire, so it shows that we're doing it after a match is over. Like, those things just add. And the other thing was in that Jack CJ match is it was zoomed in, or it was the resolution was too large. There was something off there about the resolution. So just make sure that when you submit those, that it has the right resolution and that it's all ready to go. And then even you and I were talking about some role plays that you submitted. Look, I get bombarded with stuff, and sometimes it's hard to tell what should go where. And look, I also have to be the one that fixes grammar and fixes spelling and like reads through it a couple times to make sure it actually reads like it makes sense. And you know what? Sometimes it just doesn't. Even stuff I write, and so I have to move things around to get to the point that you're trying to make. And so I accidentally left a role play out that should have followed behind or in front of another role play. So anytime hey, I want this to go here, and I want this to go there, and I want this to go there, spell that out for me. Like, do your duty and let me know, hey, this is where I want that. And even if I can't put it exactly where you want it, at least I'll have an idea of how you were thinking of where you wanted it, so I can put it in its right spot.
Yeah, and that was on me. Like I said, I kind of just threw like 3 or 4 role plays at you and didn't just kind of tell you how I wanted them or anything. But if you're gonna do multiple ones, just kind of put before or after, or this and that, just some kind of something somewhere.
Yep, I think it's a really good stuff. And then my last comment on the show is just with all due respect, I love the effort and the energy and everything that people are putting into this. People are starting to DM more. I'd love to see Jack get to DM more. He's in a lot of leagues, but if Jack could DM more, I think he'll get better and better. Like, you guys so that Jack and CJ match looks like it was played on the old rules, which is totally fine. Just make sure you understand the new rules, pick up the tempo, pick up the pace. And then just my last feedback completely, if there is anything to kind of criticize, it would be tell more stories. So get me more stuff before a match. Get me more stuff after a match. And your stuff that you do after a match, try to do it in a way where you're not giving away spoilers about what happened in the match. Like, try to, not come out and say, yeah, I whipped his butt. Like, figure out a way to frame your stuff where it forces people to still watch the matches to understand what went on. And then tell stories. Like, I'm starting to watch what you guys are doing and watch how your matches are going. You can guarantee that sooner or later here soon, Jack, Thunder, and CJ are going to find their way in a match because CJ, not purposely, but he used the finisher when he wasn't supposed to use the finisher. So there is a story I can tell there. Uh, Cactus and Aiden, there's a story that can be told there. So you guys get together and tell more stories. Tell me funny stuff. Like if you have a happy-go-lucky character, then make up a story about him doing something away from the arena or away from the ring in the back that's funny about your character. Like, make me invest in your character. Make me want to be in your character. And I think that I've exampled it with what I'm doing with Cactus. Like, I've been telling this story for almost 2 months now about what he's going through with his spirituality and with Queen Zeline and this voodoo queen and these potions he's drinking. Like, I'm telling a story that is in making you invest so that you want to wait for the next show so that you can see what's going to happen next. Where's he going with this? What's taking place with him? And I think that's what we lack right now. We're starting to get it from Aiden Steele and Dustin White. Like, they're definitely, of course, they've created this little fraction and they're starting to tell some of that story about what their plans are, but we need more of that. And I'm trying to carry as much as I can. I'm trying to get you guys to write with other characters, but you have to make me invest in your character. And you have to tell a story that somehow makes me want to watch the show. If you think about whether you watched wrestling as a kid or as a teenager, if you watch it now like I do, what makes you turn it on every week and watch that is because they're telling, it's not just the ring action, but it's also the stories that they're telling, right? It's Stone Cold going to get the beer truck and driving it in and spraying people down with beer. It's Stone Cold with the belt that he throws off the bridge. It's Mankind in the boiler room. It's the NWO doing their whacked out stuff, right? These are all stories that make you invest into the show and want to watch the show. So that's my criticism, is tell more stories that invest into your character that are outside of just being interviewed by Nikki or by Credence. It's, the one of Jack showing up on the boat and going to the bar. Like, those are the types of stories that tell you about his character and make you wonder, where's he going? What's next? Like, I want to hear more from CJ. I want to hear more from Jack. I want to hear more from Derek. I want to hear more from Tex. Like, I want to know, Tex is such an intriguing character. I want to know more about these guys. So that's my last little feedback. Any last little feedback from the show, Chaos number 32?
Man, I mean, like I said, I love the whole thing. We had great matches. You got Aiden finally getting that win over Cactus that's been kind of holding over him and everything, and you got Dustin and Captain, and I mean, you have everything going on. You have I loved the who was it? Why can't I think right now? It was
Give me some hints.
match, huh?
Give me some hints.
It was the match before like not the first match, because that was us, wasn't it? We were the first match.
You and I were first, and then it was CJ and no, it was Tex and Dirk, and then it was CJ and Jack, and then it was Dustin, Captain.
Dustin and Captain, yeah. So yeah, then it was our match then, because I remember it being before Tex's match, but just the way everything plays out perfectly with the reversals that we had, and then you watch the matches with we that not gonna lie, the very first beginning of CJ and Jack's match where CJ did that run off the ropes and try to do that kick to the top to the head. Man, if he would have landed that would have been awesome. Like, it looked great, and then he just ends up missing it. It was just a little too soon for him. But I love everything about it. I love our new rules. We still have new guys that are still trying to get adapted to our rules. The new rules now getting added into. It's going to take some time, but the matches are going to be more fast-paced now, and that's what I like. I like fast-paced matches. The whole stopping, picking somebody up, kind of break off, go back at it. To me, I never really liked it. I did it, but I just didn't like it. This, where I can just stay on top of somebody and go. It helps out with some people and it hurts some people. But at the same time, it can hurt that same person that it helps. Yeah. And that's why I said with the CJ and Jack match, like, the old rules, like, if you watch the matches, their match is probably the only one I think that was with the old rules.
Yeah.
And you kind of you watched two matches that were really fast paced, and then you got to theirs, and it was just kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, he's picking them up again.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, oh, no, that's. And then you watch the next match, and you're like, yeah, like you're into it. But those old rules just kind of boring, you know. So I would love to see them in a rematch with the new rules, and see how it would have turned out the other way. See if Jack would have came up with that W or not, or if CJ can still go over him again, you know.
Yeah, and it's challenging them to be creative. So, Jack is the hardcore champion, and even though this was not a hardcore match, like, even you're still the hardcore champion. Get him out of the ring and fight him outside of the ring a little bit, right? Throw him
Mhm.
up against the pole, throw him up against the steps. You can't use the steps, but you can still do things that speak to who your guy is and still stay within the thing of the match. So, yeah, I think look, even I've got some stuff to clean up. Dustin and I had a fun match, but there was some like little things in there with the steps, and I couldn't drop them, and then the steps ended up in the ring, and we couldn't get them out, and so look, we all have things that we can do better on, and as we invest and as we get better, as we pick up the pace of our matches, they'll get more intriguing. We'll get there. We just got to keep working at it. So look, go to the website grownfolksoc.com. You should all have a login. You see it right here on the screen. Grown Folks episode number 32, Chaos Boil Over in the Bayou, I called it. Look, this is the actual show. And then leave us your comments down here. It says click the comment and leave us your comments. I watched the show, so I'll leave my comments a little later this afternoon. But get some buzz, right? People like to hear and read. What are you thinking? What did you like? What did you not like? That way it helps us to get better. So leave some feedback, get some comments going, create some buzz. This is your show. This is your league. We have 7, 8 different belts that we can unveil, but we can't do it until we get enough people here. So you want to get those belts, you want to get those released, you want people to watch our show, then create some buzz around it. Let's move on to Chaos number 33. The card was released this week. I thought this was a fun little role play. I'm always trying to mix it up. If you didn't know, this is a real place that I have actually been to many times. I had a friend that lived in this apartment building. This is a real pool on top of a high rise here in New Orleans, and it has these magnificent views of the city. If you actually had a camera view from the other angle, you'd see the Superdome. This is a gorgeous pool that I've swam in many times. So I've actually just used that to create another area for Luna to be in and create a card. So in this next card, it'll be CJ versus Cactus. Luna Lovegood will be counseling Cactus's watering hole, and she's going to do a Lovegood lounge with Derek or Dirk, and so Dirk's going to come out and actually do some stuff there. We'll have Dustin White versus Dirk, just trying some new matches, trying some new people here. I've never had a shot at CJ. Dustin and Derek have never faced off, and then Aiden Steele is going to verse Captain White. Of course, Aiden jumped into the captain's match at the end of this last show and hit him with a stick, and so there's a little match that's coming that's boiling up here. I'm kind of sensing a no DQ match at pay-per-view maybe. And then our main event, I wanted to get us a hardcore match, give Jack a chance to be in the main event. We're going to have Jack Thunder versus Tex in a hardcore match. This is not for the belt, but it is going to find out, does Tex have what it takes to be in the hardcore division. And Luna is also going to announce at this next pay-per-view that we're going to start our rookie challenge tournament, where rookies who want to get their hands on that brand new rookie belt will get an opportunity to work their way towards that. So the rookie belt was created for people as they join and as they become new here, to have a belt to fight for and fight towards without having to go, everybody wants the championship whenever they get here, and it just doesn't work that way. And as rookies get here and prove themselves, they could drop that belt and then start working their way towards other belts. So this is a brand new belt. I think it's a super sexy belt. It came out really, really great. But that's our next card. I think the match. Well, let me just ask you: was the match that you're looking forward to the most on this card?
Man, I'm really looking forward to Tex versus Jack. Not just because I get to be in it, but because I haven't got to really see much of this new Jack Thunder. He's had I think two matches since he's been back now, maybe three. and I feel like there could be so much more. So if I could pull this, hardcore side out of him, I would love to see that match that goes on because Texas is a big guy. You
Yeah, he
know,
is.
he's he. I feel like he's gonna manhandle Jack the whole time, and I don't think I'm gonna go out of green bar to be honest with you. So I'm calling you out now.
It
So
sounds like
if
you're
you think
calling
you
him
can
out.
knock me out, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I wanted to lean towards Aiden Steele and Captain Alex, just because I'm in that match, and I think that it builds in perfectly what we did on the last show. But with all due respect to myself, I'm going to say Dustin White and Derek DeMorais. I just think that Dirk and Dustin is a very much the same style and type of wrestler. Um, very much. I mean, now Dustin is not technically a cruiserweight, but he's not far from a cruiserweight, and he does the same style of moves. Maybe not as much high flying anymore. He used to do more of that, but I think that this would be a good matchup. It'll show Derek where he's at, and you know what? I think Dustin has had some ups and downs here. Dustin's one of my favorite characters. He is one of the kind of two guys, along with me and Ebarb, that kind of run this place and come up with the cards and everything. And I love Dustin to death. He's one of the few people that we let in that were under 18 at the time. And look, he's worked his way through high school and he's working his way through college now. And just a good dude that I've gotten attached to. But he's had an up and down season this year. And sometimes he shows up and he has these really great matches and he's powerful and he looks like Dustin White, who used to be the champion when he was a different character um, back in the WWG. And then he has his matches like he had against Captain this week where he got kind of manhandled. So this is an interesting match to me, is what's Derek going to do and what's Dustin going to do and who's going to walk away in this match. So I think that's the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that too because they are so close together. Um, they just they both have that nice. They can high fly or they can not high fly, but Dirk's kind of he likes that high flying. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen it. He's quick. He's fast. Um, he has he kind of doesn't really have the advantage, I would say, but I would say he definitely he's definitely going to be a top contender real soon. I feel it.
Yeah. Another little detail thing that I realized I did on this past show, and I was able to fix it, but it's just something that I'm sharing with you guys, my mess up, so that you guys can kind of learn from those. But I actually had my headphones set to record on the stream, and so when I downloaded the video, you could actually hear me talking. And so I had to end up taking all the audio out and downloading. I have a clip of just WWE crowd sounds that I can, put in the background, so it still sounds like there's a crowd. But those are little things that you guys can help us watch for, and that's what we're looking for. That's kind of covering all of Chaos 32 and Chaos 33. I can't wait to get this card out. Remember, you guys have 10 days to get all of this stuff done. Get your matches in, get me your role plays, make time to do it right and to get things in. I always tell you, get those matches in quick, and then that gives you 3, 4, 5 days to redo matches or to do add-ons or to do the role plays or do any of that stuff that you want to do. And before we wrap up the show, I just want to spend some time with Ebarb. He and I don't know, 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago, whatever it was, did an FPR podcast where he and I played a match, recorded it, and then showed it and talked over it about FPR, about good FPR, about bad FPR. And we'll kind of keep that out there, but because the rules have changed, some of what we did in that match have changed. So Dustin White and I just played a dark match out of the blue using the new rules. And this was the first one that we did, and it just was a great match. It was upbeat. It was almost flawless FPR with the new rules. And so I'm going to post this match as the new FPR match to watch. But just to point out a couple of the changes, and Ebarb, I want you to kind of help me fill in some gaps that I might miss. But one of the biggest things is your reversal, your kickouts. Your kickout now attribute has to be set to 75 unless you're a champion. Then you can have it set at 78. So it gives you just a little bit of an advantage. The reason we do that is because we've taken away the kick out rule. So you can now kick out as many times as you want, as many times as you can hit the meter. But to counteract that and make it tougher, we've asked everybody to lower their meter to 75 at the max, and if you're a champ, you get it at 78. And I think that just opens up to taking away that rule of, oh, can I kick out? Can I not kick out? Now kick out as much as you want. Just make sure you have that attribute set lower. And we've done all that because we've picked up the match pace. We've taken away the pickup rule, the reset rule, and we've kind of redone all of that. I'll kind of let Ebarb speak to some of that.
Yeah. So one of my biggest rules that I didn't like was the whole, you got 4 stomps, a strong strike, or a strong grapple, and that was it. Now, you get 1 strike, and then you can go to town the rest of the time until they reverse. But you only get that 1 strike to try to throw it in there to make them waste a reversal, basically, because that's pretty much what it does. It makes them waste 1. Then you also have, the whole the backing away, waiting for this kind of stuff. You don't have to do all that anymore. The only time we really still ask that you kind of back away is when you're letting somebody in the ring. We ask that you don't rush still, but you don't got to go to the corner and wait for them. Just kind of let them in and let them get up, and then y'all go at it. Don't, as they're sliding in, don't rush them and kick them on the ground while they're still sliding in or anything like that. I don't remember, is the finisher still the same where it has to be a charged finisher?
No, so it doesn't have to be a charged finisher. The finishers are you can use them whenever, as long as there is a red body part and then another colored body part. So you have to have 2 colors, but one of them has to be red or darker, and then you can use any kind of finisher. You just cannot pick a guy up off the ground and immediately use a finisher. If they're on the ground and you want to use a finisher, you have to wake up, taunt them, and then after they stand up, you can use a finisher. You just cannot manually pick them up into a signature or into a finisher. If they're on the ground and you want to get them up, you have to wake up, taunt them, or you have to hit it during a regular move. You charge it, or you just, like, while you guys are regularly moving and regularly fighting, you have to hit it. One of the other changes that I really like is the 3 rollout limit. And so you can only be out there for 10 seconds, and you only get 3. You get to roll out 3 times. After the 3rd time, you can no longer roll out. I think that just adds to keeping the pace. One of the bigger frustrations is somebody rolls out on a finisher or rolls out on a signature on accident, right? And so now it's 3. That's the limit. Use them strategically and keep that match pace going. So if you get them on the ground, you get that 1 stomp, then you can strong strike them, you can strong grapple them, you can pick them up, right? It leads to some great animations, picking them up, throwing them into the corner, wake up taunting them, and then going back at it. And it also leads to new types of matches, right? So sometimes you pick them up and you waste time on a taunt, and then you get hit, and now you're behind the 8 ball. So I just think that if you watch this video and you read the rules, you'll get a good feel of how things should be. The biggest thing that we seen watching the 1 match on 32 that was not played by the new rules and the other matches that were, it's just the pace. Like, there's no more reset. There's no more bumping. You don't have to do all that stuff. Now, if you want to give a reset, totally fine. Like, if you just want to, like, there's a glitch out or there's something weird, you just want to back up and let them reset, perfectly fine. Again, remember what Ebarb said. If somebody rolls out the ring, when they roll back in, back up. Both of you pick a corner, get in your corner, and then bam, go at it. Now, after you're both in a corner and you're ready to go, if you want to rush them, then whatever, do that. Just don't rush somebody as they get into the ring.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, all these new rules that we've got from these guys, like, this is one thing I like about talking to other leagues and talking to new guys that come in, because they have advice for us and we have advice for them, and you kind of just take what you want from them, and you may not want to take anything from them, but you still learn. If anybody wants to learn anything, like me, I'm always willing to learn about my guy. If y'all see something that I do that I either don't do right, or I mess up, or or you see any flaws I might have done, tell me, because I want to make sure I get my stuff fixed right away. I'm constantly changing changing stuff on Aiden, whether it be the way he looks a little bit, or I may not like a move that he hits. I think it may not go for his character. You kind of got to look at your guy until you finally get what you want. One thing I really want to do with him as soon as we get enough time is I love Cactus's entrance. I really do. I love the way it changes as he's standing there. Like, he's got like 4 different outfits that turns into. I love that he's got the videos of him hitting moves on guys. Just that stuff to me is like awesome, and that's the level I want to get to with my character, because I see that. Like, me and Nate started our first league at the same time, and I got out of it for like a year, and Nate just like jumped up on me when it comes to that kind of stuff. And so I'm kind of competitive when it comes to him, and I've always been like that, and he's always been competitive towards me also. So that's kind of how we love working together with this stuff, because if I beat him, I know it gets underneath your skin when I do, just like it gets under my skin when you beat me. That's why I can't stand fighting Captain. Captain has the long reach, and it gets me every time.
Yeah. I think the 2 more things as you were talking that I thought about finishers is another little change was that we've asked everybody to have 1 finisher, 1 signature. We're trying to set ourselves up for growth. It makes that signature and that finisher become yours, and you get ownership over it. It makes it stand out. It makes it feel special whenever you hit it. It makes it something that you can nickname. I'd love for like all of us to nickname our moves. So Cactus's finisher is called the Levee Breaker. Captain's finisher is called the Captain's Anchor. And so coming up with nicknames that we can now call it by, that makes it ours, right? It makes it special. And then the other thing, I just lost it. It was about signatures and finishers. Oh crap! Everybody gets 1. The nicknames, and it's slipping my brain all of a sudden. It's probably gonna come back to me.
Was it the different variations?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, that was one of the things. It was different variations. So if you have a move that has different variations, then we'll let you have 2 of each, but it has to be the exact same situation, right? It's got to be the exact same move that you're using. And then there was something else that is. That's what it was. It was something that happened in one of the matches. Dang it! It was a finisher. Oh, that's what it was. You have to pin off of a finisher. It was your match. So yeah. Dirk, he's got to tell me exactly how to say that. But Dirk hit his finisher, but didn't try to pin off of it. Kept the match going, and then did a high impact move and did a pin after the high impact move. You can finish a match on a high impact move after a finisher, but a finisher only counts after you've tried to pin off of it. So if I do a finisher and I don't try to pin off of it, it's like I haven't tried a finisher. So you have to try a finisher and try to pin off of that finisher. They have to kick out. Now the match can end on a high impact move. So off the top rope like Dirk did, a signature counts as a high impact move, another finisher, like some kind of major massive move can now end a match if you've tried a finisher and you've tried to pin off of it. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we've got I liked about also. So you got to hit your finisher, try to pin, and then after the pin, then go for it. Hit a pin combo move. It can be a regular grapple move into a pin combo, but it's, you can't do a regular grapple move, do a body slam and then jump on top of the guy and try to pin him. It can't be like that. It's got to be there off of a pin combo, diving pin combo, hit your signature again, hit another finisher, something like that. An OMG, that counts also,
Yep. So,
but, watch your placement of your stuff, So if you reverse something off of a orange or a yellow reversal instead of a green, don't forget, guys, like they can't reverse anything until that goes away. So if you've got a finisher or a signature and you see they still have 4 or 5 reverses, but they're in that yellow cooldown moment, hit them all day. They can't do anything. Remember that kind of stuff. Because I noticed that in the, I want to say it was the Dustin versus Captain or Cactus. You know, you was in yellow and he was just kind of like standing there. I was like, oh man, I was like, he could have won it right then and there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess he just kind of didn't realize that had happened. So, but all in all, great show. I loved everything about it. You know,
Yeah, I
we
agree.
got the little things we got to kind of nick at here and there and kind of chip down. But eventually, you know, you chip down and you're gonna have a perfect diamond pretty soon.
Yep. No, look, keep leaving your comments. Thank you for all the follows. Help us promote this stuff, man. I promote everything we do on like 10 PlayStation groups, 2 Facebook groups. I have a Reddit up for us. We use Twitter for this. We use YouTube for this. Like, I am putting our stuff anywhere and everywhere that I could possibly put it. Help me find places that we can put it. If you play dark matches and you guys play even remotely close to fun, fair games, man, send them a message and say, hey, we run a league and we'd be interested in you just checking us out. If you don't know what to tell them, ask me. I'll send you copy and paste exactly what I send new people on PlayStation Network. I use my phone to do it. Leave us your comments. Like Dirk does a great job of leaving comments on the YouTube channel, which I love. If you want to leave stuff there, leave it there. But also leave it on our blog post here, right? Or copy and paste. I don't care how you do it. Give us a follow on Twitter. Retweet our stuff. I'm always promoting what we do. We do 10-day cards. I know it's a little bit slower pace, but you know what? It's quicker than most eFeds. It's not as quick as, you know, say the OCW, which is where I learned most of my stuff from. OCWFed.com. Go check them out. Great eFed. They are shows every week, every 7 days. There is 2 shows out that drop. We don't go quite that fast because I want to give you guys time to play other leagues, to do dark matches. Like, go invest in your character. I can't tell you how many nights I've just stayed up late. I didn't play any games. I just spent like 3 hours on movesets. The other night, I literally spent 3 hours on just videos and entrances for Cactus for the pay-per-view. I did his attire. I messed with his entrance. I made a new video. That's all I did. And then I spent another 2 or 3 hours doing his move set. I redid all his taunts. I redid some moves that I didn't like, right? I was finding ways to improve my character. The more that you invest into his entrance, into your character, the more that you're going to get out of it and the better our show will be. So invest, have fun with it. Again, I'm always going to brag on Jack Thunder, which is Dawson, and Aiden Steele, which is Ebarb here, because these guys didn't know how to do editing, right? And they took my videos that I made. There's videos out there. There's links out there. I've posted tons of links for free music, for free video editing software. They just watched my stuff and then went and learned it. And now they have a brand new skill. I've always bragged about that. It's not super duper hard just to do the basic stuff. And if you just invest a little time and energy, bro, you'll be so proud of yourself when you watch something. You go, hell, I did that. Like, that is me. I invested my time and my energy into that, and I did it. The other thing is, if you are sending me your big match videos, because I am using them to make one big long video now, do not compress them unless they're super big. If streaming it at like a super high resolution rate, then that's fine, compress them. But if not, do not compress them, because if it's already a low resolution and then you compress it, it's even worse. And then by the time I get it and I make the big video and then I compress the big video, it's like really, really bad. And I'm trying to keep our resolution and just I want the whole thing to look good. I want people to watch this and say, you know what, these people take pride in what they're producing. And I think the coolest thing is going to be when people start to watch our shows that will never play here and that'll never get hit, but they just want to watch our show, right? They watch the WWE. Now they want to watch Chaos every 2 weeks whenever it drops, because they're bought into the characters, they're bought into what the stories that are being told. And then as we grow, we'll get another show and we'll do other pay-per-views, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun things are coming down the pipe.
Yep, I totally agree with you. Characters are getting awesome. I love our characters. I love everything that we've done with them and where they're going. I mean, as we're talking now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of doing stuff on Aiden for his pay-per-view. But I mean, it's just things you got to roll with, you know. Just have fun with it. Make your guy how you want to do. Want to play him more, you know. Like DM matches. I love playing DM matches. It's hard because we're kind of few with us, but and then I'm old, guys. I fall asleep early. You know, I'm 29, but you know I feel old. Like I was in bed like 7:30 last night, and everybody's still talking and everything. But you know, have matches. I love having matches. The more matches you have, the better you get. The more competition we'll be able to have with that, and the matches will even look better. So,
Yep.
go for it.
And look, and just some funny stories. Dustin White and I were doing a dark match. You can hear my family's now moving around and loud. But we were doing a dark match the other day, and he actually I didn't record it on purpose, but he showed me his pay-per-view attire that he's gonna wear, and I almost did mine, but I hid it because Captain's gonna have some pretty big changes, or Cactus gonna have some big changes, and so. You get excited, you do all this work for pay-per-views and to make it special, to make it feel different, um, and then you want to show people. And so, look, do dark matches, man. Get to know each other. Dirk and I just have been having private conversations, just get to know each other. And there's just good dudes here. Look, there's a couple guys that are in the chat that don't play here that will probably never ever play here. They're just two guys that come to mind is Adam, which I don't even know how to say his name on Discord, and Jackson. And these are two guys that play in the OCW and other places. And they're just two dudes that I have a relationship with, and they're just kind of here to watch our shows and give me feedback, even though I don't really talk to either one of them. But they're just nice guys that you can get to know, and you can ask questions and ask if they'll look at your character and just ask for their feedback, because those two guys are super duper champions, in legit leagues, and they know what they're talking about. They know what they do, and they both play different characters. And one of the best writers I've ever seen is Adam, and I always brag on that. B17 is just an amazing writer in all kinds of different genres of face, heel, funny, not funny, serious. He's just a great writer. And if you ever feel stuck, you want to do something but you can't come up with something, pick his brain. He'll help you come up with something. Pick my brain. I'll help you come up with something. But invest in your guy, invest in your character. Watch these matches, have some fun, leave your comments, and we'll continue to grow and have a good time. So, closing thoughts as we put a bow on all this.
I mean, I'm just excited. More guys we get, more competition for all of us, the funner it is for everybody. Matches are coming out great, and I want to say thank y'all for all y'all that are playing, everybody that is watching, because we do this because we have fun, but at the same time, we don't want to do this if it's not for y'all. If y'all aren't invested into this and y'all are just kind of like, oh yeah, I just want to have a match, whatever, and y'all don't want to do anything extra with it, then it gets kind of boring and it gets old real fast. So thank y'all for actually participating with us and having fun, and come out with ideas that y'all want to do. Don't be afraid to jump with me and Nate and be like, yo, I want to do this. How can we go with that route? Don't wait on me and Nate to pop up with an RP and be like, hey, do y'all want to do this?
Yeah.
Come to us with stuff, and then we'll pretty much back you 100% no matter what.
Yeah, and tell me who you want to work with, and tell me what direction you want to go after. Tell me what belt you want to go after. We can have that discussion, and I'll help you work towards that. I hate having to do the thinking for you. It's better if you're like, hey, you know what? I've got this thing that I'm working with CJ, and me and him are going to work this towards a pay-per-view, and this we want these 3 matches, and this is what we're thinking, and we're wanting to do this and that, and yeah, let's just work together for this. The last thing that I'll push before we call it a night here is our YouTube channel. So you can actually go to our forums. A lot of you guys, all of you have logins. I know a lot haven't been there in a while, but if you go to the forums, go to the GFW forums and the TV tapings, every show that we've done in 17 and 18 is there. It's posted. It's live. You can go back and watch from the very first one since we reformed the GFW. You can go back and watch all those shows. What stories were being told? How did we get to where we are right now? And then I even challenge you, if you got time, go to our YouTube channel, hit GFW, and scroll all the way to the bottom, and you can see every show since Ebarb and I ever came up with this idea. The WWG was our first league here. It's called the Worldwide Gamers. That's back when our community was called Gamers. It's now called GrownFolks. But you can see the very first league. Now we've changed completely since then. that game was totally different. But at the same time, you can see the investment in those characters and where we went from there, how the show has changed, how we've gotten to where we are now, and just like tons of fun stuff. So I challenge you, go check out the YouTube page, check out the forums. I think that you will like what you see. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with the next show. So, Ebar, thanks for spending some time with me, bro. It's been fun. I love doing these. We did a little watch show party. Hopefully the next one, when the next card drops, we'll find a time where more people can be around and we'll all kind of watch it together because that's a ton of fun. So, hey guys, we'll see you at the next. With all due respect.
See you guys later. Have fun.